Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharala. Call Elohim, Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Harakah, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth, so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Aqua that's keeping the faith in the work. Shall keep at it. It's your brother Abai coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." Alright, so the Most High promised us this earth, man. This world was made for our sakes. Right? Matter of fact, same book, same chapter, but verse 54. It says, "And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes." The world was made for us, right? But due to our transgression, we fell off. We fell off hard. We fell off so hard to where we have amnesia. We don't know where we come from, who we are, what language we speak, what culture we had. And when I say we, I'm talking about in general. It's always a remnant that the Most High allowed to hold on to some of this information. But ultimately, in so-called 2022, for the majority, we don't know nothing, right? And the blessings of Israel remembering themselves in the land of our captivity is coming to pass, and it is about to be fulfilled, because Esau's world is coming to an end, right? Like we just read, Esau is the end of the world. Esau will be ruling this earth in the end times, and he is, right? Job 9:24 says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not wherein, who is he?" And you go to the book of Malachi, and it lets you know Esau, Edom, is that wicked, right? And you go to the book of 2nd Thessalonians chapter 2, that wicked has been revealed. And all of this is a part of end time prophecies, right? But while we're in this world, waiting on our world to begin, we have to endure hell, because that's where we are. This is captivity. We're living in a prison. And the majority of our people don't even understand that simple fact. They know, well, not all of us, and that's sad in itself, know that we came over here in slave ships and we were slaves. You'll be surprised how many of the youth don't know that, right? But we were brought over here for servitude, period. We were not brought over here to be, getting along and co-oping and building up, and that's not why we're here, right? We're here serving a punishment. Let me go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13 says, "Therefore my people are going into captivity." That's where we are. Even to this day, we are yet this day in our captivity, right? We own nothing. We have no land. And like I stated earlier, the majority of us have no idea where we come from. That's why we keep creating cultures, right? Whether that culture be hip-hop or gangs or whatever, we keep creating things because we want to have a sense of self. But all of those things are made up. We have a culture, and it's been right under our nose this whole time, right? But it says, "Therefore my people are going into captivity, because they have no knowledge, Right? And their honorable men are famished, that mean the leadership, and their multitude dried up with thirst. That mean the majority of the Most High's people are thirsting for what? Thirsting for knowledge. Hosea 4:6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Right? Verse 14 says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself. This is where we are. We in hell. Esau's kingdom is Jacob's hell. Because it was written, Esau would be trying to kill Jacob from the moment that his father died. The moment Isaac died, it was on betwixt the two nations, outside of just the two people. Right? It says, therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. And here we are. Right? But this place got to go, man. It has to go. If you operate in the spirit of truth and the spirit of holiness to the best of your ability, you pray for it every day. You're not praying for this place to bounce back and get back to no form of normalcy. Because normality in the daughter of Babylon, once again, like we just read, is hell for so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, all of so-called Negro descent. This is hell. So why would we want this place to get back strong so they can put a stronger foot on our throat? That makes absolutely no sense. All right? Let me go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 24. All right? Chapter 24 and verse 5 says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Because we fell off, the earth is defiled, man. Because we fell off, everybody is suffering, and everything is suffering. Right? The food that we eat, we have no control over this, man. Unless you're growing it in your backyard yourself, and even then, the dirt, the earth that you putting that food in, you see what I'm saying? It's been defiled. The air is defiled. All you gotta do is walk outside your door, look up in the sky. Every day, they putting chemicals in the air, and you see it. Lines of what looks like clouds crisscrossing. That's man-made. Right? That stuff is falling on plant life. That stuff is falling on us. That stuff is falling in our water. And people wonder why diabetes is booming and all of these other diseases are just running rampant on the earth. It's because everything is defiled. Because the person that's in charge wicked as hell. This nigga worships death. So if you put a person that worships death in charge and over everything, that means that everything will have a hint of death in it. All right? Go to the book of Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 4. And verse 11. It says, thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin. From time to time shalt thou drink it. So that means you won't have a constant flow of water. You will have bits and pieces, and piece of water here and piece of water there, and only a certain amount. All right, it says, and thou shalt eat it, Salah, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. Now, this is speaking about the real 400-year prophecy. I know a lot of people tend to hark on the Genesis 400-year prophecy, but it already happened when we went to Egypt. This is speaking about us now, right? Go back and read Ezekiel 4, the whole thing. Right, but I digress. It says, and thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with the dung that cometh out of man in their sight. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. The food that we eat, that we have no control over. When you go to your grocery store and you just picking up items, even if you're trying to eat as healthy as you can, and you picking up quote unquote healthy items, once again, the people that run this earth are the wicked, and the wicked worship death. Everything that they got a hand in has death attached to it. It's defiled. All right? Let me see. Let me go to verse 16. It says, moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water, and be astonished one with another, and consume away for their iniquity, because we fell off. Right? That's a part of the contract. That's Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 is a contract, man. The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai is a contract that the Most High gave to his people. And there's stipulations to that contract. If we were ever to fall off to a certain extent, we would be then placed in the hand of our enemies. And we would have to go to our enemies in want of all things. And we will be scattered among our enemies. And our enemies would change our names. And our enemies will have us serving their gods, which are idols, which will then render us powerless, because our enemies don't serve a real power. We serve the real power. We serve the creator of all things. Right? But through envy of the damn devil, here we are in hell. And still to this day, the Most High people still envying that damn devil, knowing good and damn well that devil hates your guts. Right? You got Black Lives Matter all on the brain. You got wish a nigga would all on the brain. It couldn't have been me all on the brain. But yet and still, you still envying your oppressor. Makes no sense to me. This place has to go. Let me go to the book of Matthew. Let's see. Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. We didn't come over here by choice. We weren't scattered abroad by choice. That was by force. So now you got the Most High's people not calling themselves Yasharallah or Israel. Now you got them calling themselves niggas and blacks and Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and Haitians and British and Africans and just all kinds of names. And no one researches the history of these names and terms. No one researches the histories of the names of these lands. Nobody, except the men of the Lord. Right? And when the men of the Lord try to tell the Most High's people the truth of the matter, then they become a laughing stock. Here they go again, talking about the Israel and Israel that, but you ain't researching that. You ain't look nothing up. They a cult, man. They a cult. Them niggas crazy talking about we from Israel and I'm from Alabama. I'm from New York. But you sound stupid as hell. Everybody else can say, well, yeah, currently I live in New York, but my family's history goes back to Germany on my dad's side, and on my mother's side it goes back to Ireland and so forth and so on. Your stupid ass talking about I come from whatever state you in, from whatever neighborhood you stay in that you don't even own. This place has to go, man. The kingdom of heaven suffereth violence even as we speak. Because so-called black man, so-called Hispanic man, so-called Native American man, all the so-called Negro descendant, all our brethren around the world, you don't know you are the kingdom of heaven. You don't know that your body is a temple. And that temple was handcrafted by the Most High Creator of all things to be holy. You don't know that. Because your oppressor, the people that run this earth, and the people that worship death, has put death on your name. Look up the definition of black. Look up the definition of Hispanic. Look up the definition of Indian. Indian means savage. Hispanic means you are owned by another person. His Spaniard. Black means death. You are under the thumb of individuals that know how to do curses and place real life curses on people. But you too stupid to even believe that. The Most High calls you stupid, man. I'm going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, and verse 20. It says, destruction upon destruction is cried, for the whole land is spoiled. Suddenly are my tents spoiled, and my curtains in a moment. How long shall I see the standard and hear the sound of the trumpet? For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children. If you look up that word sottish, it literally means stupid. And read that again. It says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. So if you know the Most High, that takes you out of that category. How do you know the Most High? According to the book of 1 John, chapter 2, you know the Most High when you keep his commandments. When you tell the average person, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, their mind instantly go to Exodus, instantly go to Leviticus, instantly go to Deuteronomy. The whole book called the Bible is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. But the Most High's people don't know that. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. In this kingdom, that's the Most High's people, majority wise. So this place has to go. It has to go for us to get back to being a nation, for us to get back to being royalty, because that's what you are, so-called black man, so-called Hispanic man, so-called Native American man, all the so-called Negro descent. Bro, sis, you are literally kings and princesses. That ain't never changed. I don't give a damn about your folk calling you niggas and you the realest nigga and gang and blood and crip and GD and all the other nonsense. You are royalty. I'm talking about equipped with servants, slaves, all forms of gold and precious stones and land and respect. But you're not going to get that in this world, because you living in the world of your sworn mortal enemy, man. Read Genesis 27. Read Genesis 25. It's in this nigga DNA. All right? I'm going to go to the book of, same book, Jeremiah, but chapter 51. And verse 6, it says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord," man. All we got to do is come back to our end of the bargain, which is love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul and strength, right? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And your neighbor is not whoever lives next door to you. Your neighbor is the children of your people, period. Point blank, period. Your people is your neighbor. That's who you love. Let me not just say that. Let me show that. I'm going to go to the book of Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 19. Let me see. Leviticus 19 and 17. It says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh." Your neighbor is your people, and your people only. Right? But what did the devil do to us in this land? He took the memory of us away. So now we could give a damn about our neighbor. We got gangs in the hood. Right? It started off one way, yeah, no doubt. But once again, we're living in the land of our enemies. Of course they're gonna infiltrate it, man. Of course they're gonna drop a whole new, brand new, customized drug in our neighborhood to straight up destroy our neighborhood. Of course they're gonna do that. And of course they're gonna give it to us to serve to our neighbors. This place has to go, man. This place has to go. I hear so many people say, see, we need to come together. It'll never happen, man. If you waiting on Israel to come together, man, you might well give up hope. Real talk. You might well give up hope and go to a motherfucking, take your ass downtown or uptown, wherever it is you stay in whatever country or whatever state. Go to the top floor of the tallest building and jump off that bitch. If you waiting on so-called blacks to come together, it'll never happen. It'll take divine intervention to happen, man. And that's what's going to happen. But 2/3 of the Most High's people got to get put to death. That's why I'm so confident in saying it'll never happen. Because 2/3 of the Most High's people could give a damn about the Most High's people. All right? Now let's go back to Jeremiah 51. Jeremiah chapter 51. And I'm going to go to verse 19. It says, "The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name." We different, man. We not like everybody else. We special. We were ordained by the Most High, creator of all things, to be kings and princesses. This ain't us coming together and saying, well, you know what, let's go conquer this place and then we're going to deem ourselves this, that, and the third. No. This right here is divine right here, man. This right here comes from otherworldly presence. This right here comes from the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that we royalty. That means nobody can take that away. Yeah, you got people that's claiming to be kings and princesses and queens and all the other nonsense, but that ain't true. That ain't is what it. That's not what it is for real. We are, and one of these days, how about Shimmy Al-Shah soon, the earth gonna see it. Every knee will bow. Right? I'm gonna go to verse 24. It says, "And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith Yahweh. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." The Most High gonna burn this place up. And then and only then and only then will we be a nation again. Right? For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. I'm gonna go to one more verse and I'm gonna close out. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 18. "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever." Right? And the beginning of that taking process has already begun. It's already started right now with the men that's being ridiculed and mocked for knowing knowledge and trying to inform their people of said knowledge. Right? But at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to see who laughing when it's all said and done. So with that, Yahweh Hashem Shai Ratazah, these precepts in this video were edifying. Call Haloyim, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakak Wadash, Shalom Yashalom.